It's Thursday, November 14th, 2019. It's currently 7 p.m. here in the studio in beautiful Knoxville, Tennessee, in the Smoky Mountains. According to Coin
You did it again.
Coin market cap, the price of Bitcoin is around $8,600. Oof. BTC dominance is sitting at around 65.9%. Today's random fact: Haagen-Dazs does not mean anything in any language.
It's true.
I'm your host, Crypto Euclid.
I'm Mr. Cloaks.
And this is That Bitcoin Show. Okay, hun. We got to interview our friend Z.
Yep.
How about it? Was it fun?
I had a good time.
I had a blast.
Yeah, I like talking to him. He's good energy people.
Yes, Z is good energy people.
That's what I just said.
As you like to say. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't know that about Z.
But you didn't know the whole bunch of stuff?
I didn't know any of that stuff about Z.
Yeah.
So let's just let the folks listen to the interview.
Sounds good.
All right, here it is. Here's our interview with NekoZ.
It's Neko.
Enjoy. Okay, guys, we have him. It's the man. Is it? Do you? And I'm sorry to ask this. I should know this by now because we're dear friends. Is it Neko or Neko?
It's Neko. It's NekoZ actually. Yeah,
NekoZ.
yeah. But my name is actually Z. So it's like it's actually pronounced the letter Z. So
okay.
So I just added it on to Neko. Yeah,
Well,
it means
nice.
cat in Japanese.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But I
That's
just
why
call
my
you.
logo's a cat.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
I just call you Z
Yes.
anyway. So because
Yeah.
Yuki has this horrible habit of mispronouncing names, like Vitalik.
Yeah. Vitalik.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now, and he says it repetitively, so I pick it up. So if I, it's really going to be bad. I'm like talking and I say Vitalik.
For you two, it's just Z.
Just Z.
Okay.
Just
Z.
Old
Yeah.
friends.
Z.
That's just for you two. That's not for the audience. That's just for you two.
Right. Just for me, really.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean honestly, yeah, it's an extension to Yuki. Yeah.
Well, I'm stuck calling you Neko. Is that okay?
Like a Neko
That's
wafer.
fine.
Okay.
That's fine. If you don't want to be my friend and you just want to be my acquaintance, fine. You know,
Well,
NekoZ's
I
fine.
mean,
Fine,
obviously,
that's okay.
I mean, I thought we
I
were
get it.
friends, so I'm a little hurt by you
He's saying
saying that just
friend
now.
friends call him Z. I think it just went right
I mean,
over
the
his
real
head.
ones.
Okay.
It's okay.
So
Yeah.
call
It's
you
okay.
Z. Got
Right.
you. You are a go-getter in this space.
Wait, we were just talking about something right before we started. I want to hear
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
Get back
So
to that
You've
before
got
we
to
started.
give the lead in on like what he was saying before. So
Yeah,
we can pick it
we
up.
said, "What are you up to?" And go ahead. What's up? What's
Oh
up?
yeah,
Z?
yeah. So for those of you that have been following, I guess Michael, Nye, Lawrence, me on Twitter and so forth, we all moved in together. So
Okay.
we have like
Oh my
this
God.
giant four bedroom house in California, and
Wow.
it's awesome.
Wow.
It's huge. There's 3 bedrooms on the 3rd floor. There's 1 bedroom on the 1st floor. There's a living room area and the kitchen area on the 2nd floor. Huge living space, and it's just a good place to work. It's kind of like incubator style,
Yeah.
where we're just like creating a ton of like media content. Whoever wants to come in with businesses, you can sit down, we can talk investments, we can talk, how we can help from a marketing standpoint. It's a really good place to collab. We had Charles the ETH come over the other day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he came over, we hung out for a bit, we talked about a little bit of business, and then afterwards we went to play blackjack, some fun things like that.
I'm so jealous. We need a camera in there all the time going.
Yes. You should see the ridiculousness. So, obviously some of you guys have been seeing that we've been getting to TikTok lately.
Oh.
Everybody's getting to TikTok.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't even mention that with Yuki.
I
don't even.
Yeah, I fucked around with it for a little while, and I'm embarrassed I've made like 10 videos, and they're the worst shit that I've ever put out in my life, and I'm embarrassed, and I'm gonna delete my account.
You know what? Mine aren't that great either.
No way.
But,
I thought yours were better than Nye. I was like, how the hell does Nye have so many views on this TikTok? Like, I don't even get it. Yours had me cracking up. I was like, wait.
The Tiger Mom.
You gotta
one.
be consistent. Yes, the Tiger Mom, exactly. You gotta be consistent. That's all it is. I mean, for the first 3 videos, they were actually pretty good. I got like over 100 views, which is actually really good for your first videos.
Yeah.
And then it just ramps up. You get like, it's kind of weird because like Lawrence and Michael were like 100 views, 50 views, and then all of a sudden like 2 weeks later they hit like 1 million views.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I got like the first like 3 or 4 videos I put up, I got like 500 views right away, and I was like, whoa, this is kind of fun, you know. And then I did something, you know, I thought was hilarious, and it got like 20 views.
Yeah.
And then you know, so it's I you know, I'm very
so
like, if it doesn't hit
account.
like right away for me, like if it doesn't hit right away, I'm just what's the word?
You give up.
I give
like
up. And I
like
move
a little
on.
bish.
But listen, here's the other thing with I can't hear you. These earphones, I can't hear what you're saying, but I'm sure it's lovely. And I just feel like with TikTok, it's like, well, fuck, I would rather just make this for Twitter. Like, why am I building like a whole nother fucking platform to work, you know? You know what I'm saying?
We'll do both. I mean, that's what I always tell Michael, right? Michael was just like, oh, same exact thing, right? Because Michael's been, he was contemplating building out his YouTube again and like a few other things. And, you know, because I'm his business partner, I go, dude, you know, why don't you do both? Why don't you just download the videos and post them onto, you know, Twitter, post them onto, you know, YouTube. Like, what's the hardship of that?
Well, well, see, that's what a smart person would say, which is exactly what I said to him. I said, in fact, you wouldn't have even made any of that funny content to put onto Twitter if you hadn't been fucking around with TikTok.
You can't upload a fucking 30-second clip to YouTube. So let me just put a poo-poo on that plan.
No, but you can. But no, hey, well, hold on. You can do a collab.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay. It's a lot of work.
Videos together. No, I mean, it's not a lot of work. You just go on iMovie, you stack them all together, and you just post them up on YouTube.
Exactly.
You know, funny TikTok videos by Yuki.
Are you guys going to put a camera in your studio there in your house and do the real world thing, the crypto real world?
Crypto Big Brother.
Like all the time. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. You should see the kind of shit that we do inside there. It is ridiculous. I mean, half the time we're like on some sort of furniture dancing or there's like fruit involved. It gets weird.
Listen, we should be able to put one other person in there and then get to vote, you know, people in and out.
Yeah, we could vote people out. We could add new people, like Bachelor in Paradise kind of thing.
Oh my God, it's so bad. Like sometimes I just like go upstairs and I just like see like, I don't know, like Michael just like with all sorts of wardrobes on and stuff with James, and it's just like, what am I doing here? Like, you know what I mean? And I go right back downstairs.
But tell us the truth. You have another house somewhere else that you can go to for quiet time.
So this is the beautiful thing about our place. This is why I chose our place, is because we have 3 bedrooms at the top floor, right? So we got Lawrence at the top floor. We have Michael's bedroom on the top floor, and then Michael has a music studio up there as well, because Michael's into making music. So he's got his setup up there. And then I'm on the very bottom floor. I'm on the first floor where I can't hear what's going on the 3rd floor, and I have some alone time. If I want to just like close the door and focus on my trading or whatever I need to do, I'm by myself.
Okay. Yeah, so it's you, Nye Digital Lawrence, and who else?
That's it.
That's it.
Nye Digital Lawrence.
Oh, okay, cool.
And Nye has 2 rooms.
You gave Nye 2 rooms because he has the music creation bug going again.
Yeah, and quite honestly, I want nothing to do with that in my living space. So I was like, dude, take the room, please, for God's sakes.
I don't want it.
I don't want it. I'm out.
Now, you guys were also doing a lot of world traveling. Why and what is that about? What are you guys doing? What are you building? What's happening? What's behind all that?
So thanks for asking. So our main company is a company called Tyne Ventures. So Tyne Ventures is a full service incubator, I guess company you would say, right? Mm-hmm. We provide investments into projects. We provide marketing support, and we provide just everything from CFO services to CEO services even. Business development services, just everything from A to Z. And that's essentially what Tyne Ventures is. Now, the reason why we travel so much is because, one, from Michael's standpoint, Michael speaks at a lot of these conferences, right? And he provides a lot of marketing help to a lot of these companies. And so when we go to these conferences, we essentially not only do we catch up with clients that we have, but at the same time, we optimize Michael's speeches. So when he's speaking on stage, we convert that to, contracts, essentially. That's essentially what I do for Michael.
Right. Okay. Well, damn.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying Titan Ventures. It sounds to me like you're saying Tyne Ventures. It's Titan.
Oh,
correct?
Titan. Yes, Titan. So if you want to check out the website, it's titanmedia.io.
Okay. Tamara.
Yep.
Yeah. What? What did I do?
It's the holidays and shit, right?
Oh. Well, did we want to talk about that or the giveaway? What do we want to do?
Yeah, let's do that really quick.
And thank you for that. By the way.
Man, we appreciate that. You announced that you're going to be giving 5 people $10 worth of crypto each, and it's their choice of what crypto.
We're giveaway virgins, basically.
Yeah, we don't really typically do giveaways that much. I know like people do it, but then people were saying even on this thread like, oh, it's just going to be a bunch of bots that like will retweet this and stuff. Have you had issue with that on Twitter? Have you done a bunch of giveaways?
Yeah, so I've done a decent amount of giveaways. What I do is that I if it's a bot account that has like 0 followers, 0 engagements, essentially just like retweets everything, I won't honor that. It has to be somebody who actually makes an effort. I'll vet the person, right? I'll go through their account, I'll vet the person, I'll send them over a message, and what I'll do is they actually have to like actually be engaging on Twitter. They're not they're not just there just to just claim as much money as possible or claim as many giveaways as possible.
Right.
Okay, well, so here's what I did. I went through and saw the people that retweeted. And to make it to where it's not just possibly bots, what I did was I picked our fans of the show.
Perfect.
And this is the list. Are we ready?
So you just picked your friends.
I picked friends of the show, fans of the show.
Yeah.
No, that's
There's
perfect.
nothing wrong with that. Is there anything wrong with that?
No, absolutely not. I think that's perfect.
Thank you.
Michael and Lawrence aren't allowed to win. Just to clear the air, guys. There's no.
So here's the winner, and I'll tag them on.
Me, I'm the winner.
Tamara and Crypto Euclid, amazingly enough. And that's it. And we're gonna split it. We're gonna split that between us two. So that's $25 each, Tamara.
I was gonna say though about the giveaways. I had a question for him since he does more than we do.
Yes.
So what about? I heard something about. I mean, this is shocking in this community and everything, but people out there doing fake giveaways, just to get followers.
Right,
and
you're
stuff,
saying like
right?
people that do giveaways and they do the thing and then they don't actually reward
any of the things away.
People.
Right.
Yep.
So
Shitty. Terrible people.
Gives good giveaways a bad name, right?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. No. Every single giveaway that I do, I always do it live. And then afterwards, I'll have the person that has received the amount actually like tweet it out, and I'll post something out myself. Be like, here's a transaction. This is not my account, so you can clearly see. Right. And
Okay. Well, since it is our show,
do the drum roll.
You said that we're allowed to pick, and I've picked five
people.
These are fans of the show. I don't have a drum roll, honey.
Why?
I had one. Hold on.
What
Doesn't
was
matter.
that?
Oh, I got one.
Drum roll.
No, I got it. Here we go.
I think that was this computer.
The first winner is 3 Douglas 3D Bit Ninja is the first winner.
Oh, there we go.
We're not gonna do the cheers for everyone. I'm gonna just list everyone off.
That's not fair.
It's annoying. The second winner is Catfish.
Yay!
Third winner is Niles fucking Rude.
Is it Niles or Nils?
Nils fucking Rude.
I mean, we don't know.
Fourth winner is Crypto Don Fepe.
Yay!
Nice.
And the fifth winner of the Neko, let me drum roll. NekoZ. $50 That Bitcoin Show Crypto Extravaganza giveaway is
I love it.
Mr. Squiggle.
Love it. Congratulations, everybody.
So
thank you, Z.
Congratulations to you guys. Thank you, Z, our friend, for doing this. And of course, thanks to you guys for being fans of the show and supporting us. So that's exciting. I'll tag them on the tweet that when we release this. I'm going to try to get this out tonight. We'll see.
Yeah. What's it called? I'll send you over the BTC, and then you just go ahead and send it out yourselves and whatever they want.
Okay, that's fine too. Yeah, cool. And let's see. Yeah, so that's awesome. Thank you for that. Now we've got that out of the way.
Right.
It's the holidays. It's Thanksgiving.
Well, not yet. I mean, okay. Guess who put our tree up today?
Ooh, you put your tree up already.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know.
Interesting. Okay. I guess Thanksgiving doesn't exist.
No,
okay.
That's just pre-Christmas.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So someone is feeling festive. Someone is very festive. Yeah. So he has all kinds of anyways, there's some topics. He tweets about pecan pie and no one knows what it is. So do you know pecan pie?
Pecan pie?
Yeah. You're a man of the world,
absolutely.
Right? I mean,
yeah, I know pecan pie. Yeah, pecan pie is actually pretty popular, ironically enough, in Florida where there's no Christmas, essentially with like the weather. But it's actually really popular there.
Yeah, yep. I mean, I love pecan. Okay, so I mean, pecan pie or pumpkin pie?
Oh,
come on. This is not. Come on.
Depends on the season, but I like pecan pie better.
Thank you. Okay, I knew you were smart.
Okay, let's get back to the fucking meat of the show here, because all this nonsense.
You told me to talk about pecan pie.
I know.
Do you see how he does this? He tries to outshine me by giving me these topics, questions. And then as soon as I talk about them, he tries to, act like.
No, I'm gonna put Z on the spot here.
Uh-oh. All right, put me on the spot, please. All right, please, by all means.
So this is a show about crypto and Bitcoin and the community and everything.
Oh, I forgot.
Yep.
So what? Do you know what I'm talking about? I've been seeing you, and this is neither here nor there. I've been seeing you tweeting anti-Beaxy stuff. Let's talk about that. And where's what? Just tell us what that's about.
Okay, so so I guess all right, I'll start from the beginning, right? I guess my anger around Beaxy per se, right? It stemmed from my discussion with Michael to begin with. Now Michael won't talk about this in public, but I'll talk about it, whatever, I don't care.
You'll talk about it for him.
yeah, I'll talk about it for him. But like my start of my Beaxy dislike, I guess, was the fact that they went back on their word. So Michael was supposed to provide a good amount of engagement for Beaxy back in the day. And earlier this year when Michael got a ton of hate per se about whatever his past life and so forth, Beaxy, the guys that were supposed to be his friends, like Tech and so forth, that were these are guys that we see at every single conference, right? Completely ghosted Michael.
Wow.
And it went from being like really close friends to completely ghosting him and not fulfilling the contract, and that was it. And it was kind of messed up. So that was like my first, I guess, dislike on Beaxy.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, that was my first dislike on Beaxy. My second distaste on Beaxy was the simple fact that because I'm coming from the trader space, right? I knew that Beaxy was full of junk. I knew it from the get-go. I knew that they weren't going to be completely compliant. It's not possible for them to be completely compliant, and it shows. They're having trouble getting market makers. They're having trouble with legal, and they don't have the bankroll. They don't have the budget to make this happen. So the entire time when they were promising things, I was just looking back at them and going, seriously, guys? Like, you guys are promising this stuff, and you guys are throwing parties, and you guys are wasting investors' money. In reality, you guys know very well that you have no chance whatsoever on making this happen.
Wow.
So I thought that was very irresponsible, and as well, with the communication, right? So Tech has not tweeted in 6 weeks since his family, quote unquote, family issue. Now I get it, right? Family issues are family issues.
Right.
I respect any family issue. I'm not saying his family issues aren't real.
Right.
He could very well have family issues, but it's, if you're going to be a CEO of a company, especially one with a good amount of people relying upon you, you should at least have the decency to open Twitter and send out a tweet saying that everything's okay and that progression is still being made. Not tweeting for 6 weeks is not acceptable. I've had to deal with family issues myself. I've had to deal with very close personal issues, and no matter what, I will never ever jeopardize any of my businesses as well as any of my investors or clients or so forth just because of my personal issues. I'll at least let them know that, hey, I'm dealing with some stuff, but nothing has changed. The course is still being met.
Right.
Have decency about that.
Those are some very, I'm getting that gif of the guy going, you're bringing up some very valid points.
So I'm noticing that, so I'm just looking at your Twitter bio right now. You've got a Duedex. Now these guys just recently had some stuff happening where people were saying that they just copied and pasted was it Bybits?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Thing.
They copy the terms and services, stuff like that. Yep.
Okay. And so how do you, and again, like I'm just a reporter here, just a reporter discussing what's happening in the news here. What do you say to that? I mean, is that something that you should be worried about, or is that just sort of like whatever?
So for me, at least, right, coming from a business perspective, it's very important to save costs and everything, right? And a lot of these exchanges have copy and paste, same exact terms and services, same exact disclaimers and so forth, right?
Right.
Honestly, if I was a new business and I was looking to create something like Duedex, in all honesty, guys, I would probably do the same exact thing. And we see CZ did the same exact thing with Binance and BitMEX, where Binance copied BitMEX's terms and services.
But
so
okay, I get that. But there is a different. You would read over it though, right? Come on, I know
yes,
you.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a.
Somebody is making a mistake there somewhere.
Yes. No. That is something that absolutely I wish that they did that. The one thing I must say about Duedex though is that their team right now is currently on the smaller side. So and they're scrambling right now to kind of create the most stuff possible. The one reason why I'm still backing Duedex is just because Bo, the CEO, has been beyond communicative. Is that the right word? I don't know the right word, but I've been really vocal and really hands-on with everything that he's doing on the site. When it comes to customer service, when it comes to any sort of issue on the site, he's been very hands-on. And this reminds me very much of when Binance launched, because I was there when Binance launched. I was there when KuCoin launched. I remember speaking with CZ directly when Binance launched about some of the issues, and he responded back to me. And it would be a shame for me to not give it a chance when this guy is actually working his ass off. Like I've messaged him at 4 a.m. I've messaged him at 11 o'clock at night. I messaged him on all sorts of different time zones, and he's always responding along with his team.
Do we have, I know that Binance, no longer you can use Binance in the US, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So being in the US, we kind of don't have a lot of options for exchanges. So I see a lot of, new exchanges kind of, I guess, fighting for this huge market. It's interesting to see who's going to be able to actually do it. And I think whoever can do it, it's going to be huge, and I'm sure it's a crazy undertaking to be able to have a successful exchange, and like you said, there's so much regulation and stuff that I'm sure that goes into it with being in the finances and stuff.
Yeah.
The government has to be involved. The government has to, take their share, their cut and everything. So I'm sure it's extremely difficult to actually pull this off.
Yeah, so just to let you guys know, from a trader's, I guess, perspective on these exchanges, no one essentially right now has the ability to provide derivatives, futures, on leverage and margin in the U.S. without complete blessing from the SEC. So right now, even Duedex, for example, they made it very clear that the U.S. isn't allowed. Now, whether you use a VPN or whatnot, just like BitMEX, is up to you. Right. However, right now that spot for being, the top spot essentially for, derivative trading, futures trading, contract trading is still up for grabs. which is why Backed and all these other institutions and their platforms are so sought out.
What do you think? Okay, so right now, the overall mood, the sentiment, and I'm talking about crypto Twitter, I guess, is pretty down. I mean, everyone's pretty bored out of their fucking minds right now. I guess, people were hoping that we would see another, crazy run, and it's just not happening. What do you, how do you, like, cope with all, like, I just feel like everyone's sort of bummed and just depressed now and having I don't know, people are getting salty again, and they're sort of,
no,
what do you do during these times when it's just sort of like meh?
Yeah, so what I do, I take opportunities like this to learn.
Right.
That's what I kept preaching about in 2018, was learn your skill set, create something, build something, right? If you're not a trader, that's fine. You don't have to be a trader, but go ahead and build a business, build some good, strong infrastructure that will, help you out. They'll keep you busy. They'll keep your mind away from just looking at your blockfolio every single 5 seconds and refreshing it, right? Now for me, because I am a trader, the market going down does not affect me,
right?
Because I'm not overexposed to alts. I'm completely flat essentially. Now, what I can say to give you guys a little bit of hopium, in my opinion, is that I was macro bearish. I was bearish, thinking that 6K was going to be the ground. Essentially, it was going to bounce off of 6K, but it was going to go down that 6K marker. The thing about it is that the longer we hold around this area, the more bullish I actually am. Because by now, according to my past TA, I'll be the first one to admit I was wrong. I thought that we were going to drop by now. Yeah. So I do think that we might very well see a nice run up here sooner than we expect, guys.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no. I think that we will still see a drawdown. Right now, my target right now is about 8,100 to 7,800. That's my marker. But before, a lot of traders were looking at the 7,500 to 6K marker, and that's a much bigger drop. And I think that we might not see that big of a drop.
Cool. That is cool.
So Tamara told me that you were an engineer.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, my background is civil engineering. So I graduated with a degree in civil engineering from University of Miami. That's where I played tennis essentially.
Yeah,
and
we talked about that.
Yeah, I think we talked about that, right? So I got my degree there. I came out to California. I worked for Walt Disney Imagineering and a bunch of these larger engineering firms. Helped build Star Wars Land in Disneyland.
Whoa.
In California. Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm a registered professional engineer here.
That is crazy. Yep. Crazy.
So you're not really a degen. You're actually like someone who's fucking doing shit, man.
No.
You're intelligent. You're you're like learned is the word.
I know it's been about close to 3 years now that I completely quit my engineering job and not looked back and kind of just went forward on everything. I've always had an entrepreneur sort of mindset. Even when I was an engineer, like I had a clothing company, I had a coffee business. I had so many businesses in the back in the day. I used to trade cars and stuff. It's crazy, but yeah, here I am.
That hustle, right?
I think
it was always a hustler. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get easily bored though? Do you have to constantly be doing like something new and different and exciting?
It's not so much having to be doing something new and exciting, but I have to always see progression. So It's not that I need to create a new business every single time, but that business needs to be doing something. If that business isn't doing something within 1 year, I'm done with it. Like if it's not progressing, if I'm not seeing, for example, right, like if I'm not seeing like larger contracts coming in for marketing, if I'm not seeing progression in video content and so forth, whether viewership is actually starting to move, then in a year I'm thinking of the next play essentially. Now that's good and bad, right? It's good in the sense that that's what I need to be doing at a younger age, but but it's also bad in the sense that sometimes good things take patience. Yep.
Now, you made a funny TikTok video where you said you had a tiger mom. Do you, in fact, have a tiger mom? Was she hard on you? Is this the reason you are such a driven person?
You know what? My mom actually is a tiger mom, but I actually didn't grow up with my parents. I actually grew up, I wouldn't say alone, but I grew up at a tennis academy in Florida. I moved away at a very young age, and I was living with my coach, lived with my friends. We used to live in these places called the villas. Essentially, they were like these small apartment homes, and our coaches would check up on us. And then we moved into the dorms, and our coaches would, so I've done that since I moved away since I was 10. And I used to live, I didn't see my parents for like 5 over years during that time. My family is very independent, my sister as well. And then my mentality comes in play. It's really stems from my my tennis days, right? Being competitive, playing professional tennis, being, training 8 hours a day. Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, so your parents essentially, I don't mean to be harsh here, but shipped you off when you were 10 years old.
No, I
mean, essentially.
I guess you could put it that way.
Yeah. My parents were always, they've always been very driven themselves, like doing big business or whatever they do, right? And so for me, my sister shipped out first when she was 10, and then 3 years after, when I was 7 to 10, I shipped out myself.
Can you DM me that number? That address. I have a 10-year-old that I would like to ship out.
Actually, yeah, right.
Yeah, it's very, very strict, is what I'm saying. It's very much a military sort of lifestyle. When you're at the sports academy, it's no BS. At 5:30 in the morning, you're in the gym.
Okay, but let me ask you this: a 10-year-old child needs love. Did these? Were you?
I thought you were about to say, "Did these coaches give you love?"
No, that would sound horrible. Z,
it's right on line with your line of questioning.
That kind of love. No, I was making a joke, but I was building off what Tamara said. But seriously, though, you, as a 10-year-old, did you come back and see your parents, or was that just like you lived there and you didn't really see them very much after that?
I lived there and didn't see them. At one point, I literally didn't see my parents for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
I spoke to them from time to time on the phone and stuff, but it was more in the lines of, make it or break it. It's a lot of stress, right? It wasn't like they just shipped me off. I had a scholarship from the Canadian government for Tennis Canada.
That is crazy.
And essentially the Canadian government was paying for us to be at this facility, and you had to make certain strides or you would be cut from the team. So it's a lot of stress for a younger age, right?
That's a lot of pressure.
There's some years where I only traveled 10 weeks out of the year and I made my marker, right? You had to make a certain level of accomplishments. You have to win so many tournaments, do so well. There's a whole point system behind it. And then I remember there was 2 distinct years where I actually traveled. One year I traveled 38 weeks out of the year.
Wow.
And the other year I traveled 40. And it's because I wasn't doing well. I wasn't hitting my marker. I had to travel and I had to hit those markers, and I did it at the end of the day. But I remember thinking to myself that I wasn't going to make it. It came down to the run. It was December and I had the last tournament of the year. I was in Chile in South America, and I was pretty much, excuse my language, but shitting my pants.
Right.
I have to perform here.
Right.
If I don't perform here, I lose everything.
Oh my God.
I get cut from the team. I go back to where the hell I'm at that point, you don't even know where you're from anymore, right? Because that's your home, that's your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I didn't know what I was going to do, but it teaches, in my opinion, right? It teaches you real world experience at a very young age. No one's going to pity you. You're going to have to make it, or you're just going to have to, sleep on the side of the road.
That made you who you are. So, but what
Correct.
a childhood. That's insane.
It's tough. It's tough. It's not ideal. It's definitely not something for every single child. You have to be very honest with yourself, right? When it comes to a very, when it comes to your child, right? You have to see hey, look, is my child capable of these athletic capabilities? Is my child smart enough? Is my child the most important thing is mentally stable enough. Because I'll be the first one to admit, guys, there were many breakdowns for me where I had to speak with psychologists. I was, on the verge of, as bad as it sounds, but I was on the verge of committing suicide. Like there were some very, very intense moments in my childhood that I wouldn't say I'm not proud of them, but like they're real. I'm here talking about them.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that thank you for sharing. That is crazy.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's not. I mean, I don't know that I know anyone who had a similar experience.
No.
I don't really know of anyone. I personally, when I was 7, my parents sold me to carnies.
That is not true.
And I was actually the I worked for the yak woman. She had a full she had like face hair, and she looked like a yak, and it was my job to get her coffee, and she was very abusive. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
well, I mean that's more intense than my life, man.
It was horrible.
Would be if it were true.
Yeah, no, that's not true. But my mom was like not there emotionally at all. It was not a good, it was one of those like, there wasn't a lot of hugging. There wasn't a lot of,
I mean, your story sounds so pathetic.
Yeah,
compared to
no, it's okay. I mean,
my mommy didn't hug me.
Basically, Z, my mommy didn't hug me, and I still have problems to this day. I'm 43 years old, and I have major issues, and it all boils down to my mother didn't hug me, and
some people can make excuses for their behavior, and some people, build upon it and really.
Yeah, for me, I think like more recently, especially like I've always thought about it, but like more recently, I've tried not to victimize myself per se. I don't ever victimize myself when it comes to like public. Like it's never I'm never gonna be like, oh yeah, because of this I'm doing this and that, right? I'm never gonna do that, but mentally I always think about it in a certain negative connotation. And so recently I've been trying to not think that way per se.
Do you still like have issues with dark thoughts and things? Is that something you still?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
A while ago, Yuki, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure you remember, but you were talking about depression and so forth on your Twitter, and that was the first time I actually came across your profile. I saw a few people that I actually followed that were commenting on that and whatnot. And that was the first time I ever interacted with you on Twitter, where like I actually vibe with that because those dark thoughts and whatnot, like society makes it seem like as if it's not okay to ever think bad thoughts. It's like you should always be positive, but in reality those things are real, and you shouldn't not speak about them. It's not like it shouldn't be like this like taboo sort of subject that you shouldn't speak about. I think that it's important, and what you did I think is very brave, and I completely vibe with that because dark thoughts like that don't really just go away. I mean, from time to time, do I get them less as I grow older? Sure. But yeah, there's moments where like, I've had a really terrible day of trading and they come back, and it makes me feel like a failure or so forth. And I just have to kind of like deal with them at that moment and push forward.
I think something too that's really dawned on me the older I get, and I have 2 kids, is that parents don't really talk to their kids about mental health issues, and I know it's an awkward subject and stuff, but I think we should. I think our kids should be able to talk to us because, man, there's kids out there that, end up, doing, often themselves, because their parents, there's no one there to talk to, and kids are fucking mean to other, kids. So I think
they are,
and the worst.
Yeah. So it is difficult, and like, I wish that it was more of a mainstream thing about mental health, and what you said is true. Like, we do have these negative thoughts, and that's okay to have them. But, just know that, Yeah, you get so fucking hopeless though. And I know Tamara doesn't have issues with depression, but I do. And
I have issues with depression. Well,
Me.
Yeah, you.
Me, I'm
you,
the issue.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's like, yeah, and I think maybe it's more of a male thing. I don't know. I know that women also get depressed, but
Yeah, definitely.
I think generally though men suffer
I
from
don't know what the statistics are
depression
on there.
more. But I wish more people would talk to their kids though about it and explain to their kids that you can talk to them, because I know I had issues just from early childhood, depression.
Yeah, I think honestly right now it's actually worse for a child than it was before. Now the reason why I'm saying that is because nowadays everything is so digital that kids before, right, like our age, right, like let's just say we got picked on. I never got picked on, but let's just say we got picked on, right? It was in school, and then we left school, we came back home, and that was at least the extent of it, right? There was that disconnect to a certain degree. There was at least some sort of disconnect, right? Whereas nowadays with kids, they're on the internet, they're on their video games, they're on, connected, essentially to all their friends or whoever, and these things don't go away. These bullies, that these bullies are essentially going back and speaking illy about these kids on the internet, and then that sort of spreads within their school or their circle, and it never stops. And
well,
it's unfortunate.
One thing that it's different, I guess, now, and it's when we were bullied, when we were young, you got physically.
It was physical,
bullied. Like you
mostly.
got your ass kicked. Today it's more of a fuck kind of
mental
thing.
bullying.
And what, to me, honestly, I think it's worse. Like you said, I think it's worse now for kids now.
You think so?
Because back in the day, and no, I maybe it's hard to compare because getting your ass kicked is certainly not fun. But there's also the humiliation.
You can just make a new account,
but you can't just make a new fucking account. It's just like,
I mean, I'm not saying it's an easy thing. I'm just saying I was bullied, and it was like physical bullying was the tough part. It's like you don't want to go to school or.
Interesting. I was never on that side of things, so it's tough for me to understand that side of it.
Yeah, I think you could kind of even just like laugh it off at some point or something, or just be like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Different people handle different things. I'm not saying that there's nothing to this bullying. But
when she was a kid, bullying meant getting your ass kicked. Nowadays, bullying means someone's being mean to you on the internet. Yeah. And it's like, cry me a fucking river, is what she's saying.
You can look at it like that sometimes if you've been the other person. I mean, but then you sit down and talk with someone who's been bullied online, and I'm sure you go, oh shit, I didn't even think about that.
Well, because it's like Z said, it's fucking, you can't get away from it.
Right, yeah.
It's just all over the place. And, we see people on crypto Twitter getting bullied. Nye is one who gets a lot of bullying because people love to go after him.
I love that he made the joke about hugging the trees, because Yuki and I were saying that like from the beginning. We're like, he should totally just make a video about this and like joke about himself.
That was the first thing I spoke to him about when I became partners with him. I was like, look, man, we're gonna kill it this year. I can promise you that. We did a lot this year, and then afterwards I was like, look, man, at this point, now you just own it. Now you just own it, and you laugh at all the haters, because guess what? We're progressing while they're just stagnating.
Yeah, exactly. I was really sad when it was like starting to affect him. Like he was tweeting, it has to, because you have all these people just on you constantly. It's like, what the fuck?
Listen, I mean, Tamara and I've been
get off my ass.
Tamara and I've been pretty lucky. We don't typically get too much, hate and stuff. But like the few times we have, it does, it does affect you. You can't pretend like it doesn't. You can say it doesn't, and you shouldn't let people know it does, but it does. When someone's like, well,
everyone has their trigger. I mean, so it's just like, finding that trigger. So just don't let anyone know what your trigger is.
Yeah, Tamara always says that to me. Don't tell people. But I'm the first person to I will tell you all my faults and flaws. Like, and that's what I've done since I've been on Twitter, is I just use it as a fucking like sounding board for this is how I'm feeling, you know, and I'm going through different things with mental issues and what the fuck ever. But and I'm an open book, and it seems to, you know, it seemed to work pretty well, other than like the whole issue with like being addicted to it now. Like, you know, I've traded one addiction for the other, and I'm having a really hard time putting like the Twitter down and putting the phone down. It's like constantly, you know, in my hand. And, you know, but.
Well, enough about you. I want to hear about this new gaming mouse, right? What do you have? What do you have going?
Yeah. So one of the businesses I've invested in, and as well as I'm currently really hands-on in, is a company called Noble 5. So the whole premise of Noble 5 is that me and my buddies came together. We've always had a passion for gaming, and we came together and we were like, hey, look, you know, the industry that we're in is now overpriced. Newer gamers that are looking to come in, kids that are looking to come in, are not being able to play on an even playing field, and we dislike that.
Right.
So I've had previous investments into, they call them peripherals. I've had previous investments into them. And so I know the margin. I know the profit margin. I know what it takes to create it. So long story short, we created it and we undercut the market by 20%.
Oh, holy shit.
So you're getting the best spec mouse out there for the price.
Cool.
For the actual specifications, the actual hardware. And you know, just at 20% off than your competitors.
Nice.
And we're just looking to revolutionize the industry on that side.
I use the Amazon Basics mouse. Are you familiar with that one?
You know what? We're gonna get you guys too nice. Okay, we're just gonna get you too nice. All right, don't worry.
You said that with like a serious face. I was looking at you.
I got you. You know, you're gonna love it. It's made for gamers, but of course you can use it for day to day.
Oh hell yeah!
And it's smooth. It feels good. There's a certain aspect of playing with the gaming mice that you don't really get from whatever the stiff Amazon Basics they're using.
Yes.
So yeah, you know,
well,
keep your life fluid, Yuki. Keep your life fluid.
I'm super excited. I can't wait to have.
What is your favorite game, ever or now, whatever?
so right now, my ever in history is a game called Ragnarok Online.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's an old game. They were essentially the first people to ever create like lo-fi music. They were like the pioneers of lo-fi music. It's a Korean game. Anyways, right now from time to time, whenever I get a chance, right, because I don't have that much time, is I play League of Legends and I play Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
My son and I, my 10-year-old and I, we have an Xbox 360 and we play Call of Duty Black Ops. It's very fun.
Nice.
You know, just with each other. I love the games. Like it used to be games. You used to be able to play local co-op. Like that was a big thing. Like with the first Xbox and stuff. And it kind of went away. I don't see that as much. Everything's like online. But I love to sit down on the couch and play with someone, you know, in the same room. That's just fun.
Yeah, we used to play games all the time.
You guys should get a Switch. Switch is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Pretty much almost every game is a co-op.
Yeah, we got one.
I haven't found a game I like though.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you guys tried like little games like Overcooked and stuff?
No.
Oh my god.
We've got all the big ones, but I got Fortnite on there. I played that for a little while. That was fun.
If you guys are ever in a very, very good mood and you guys have no chance of getting divorced at that moment, then play Overcooked.
Okay.
because Overcooked is literally, they call it the relationship ruiner. Because you're relying, essentially you man a restaurant and you have to make dishes and you have to serve them.
Okay.
And it's very strenuous on your team.
All right.
I like it.
I love to beat Yuki at games. So.
No, you guys are supposed to be a team.
Oh.
You're supposed to be a team.
Can I beat him?
You guys are helping. Yeah.
Okay. She'll
like
still
someone chops the ingredients while someone
me.
washes the dishes while someone like serves the food. Yeah.
I am not washing dishes.
So this house that you guys live in, what is that? Is there something like, I just feel like, and the Tamara said it right from the beginning, put a camera on. I feel like there's so much potential there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's honestly a really good place, guys. It's a great place for like I said, incubating, right? Like if you know, from just just thought process.
Yeah.
You know, like for the TikTok thing, right? Michael and Lawrence, I was very impressed with them. I was like, forget TikTok, I'm over TikTok. And Michael, Lawrence were like, they kept trying.
I know.
And it got to the point where Michael was kind of down. Michael was like, all right, maybe this isn't the thing. Lawrence was like, maybe this isn't the thing. But they kept pushing each other.
Right.
And right before my eyes, I saw them go viral.
Oh
literally right before my eyes.
Yeah, you have that you know, friendly competition and you know, just like the energy like building off of it, and then you can just walk in the room and suck some of that energy out really quick, like absorb it, and then you go back into your create
space. It's just a motivative.
Well, it's
just a motivative process.
It's like Warhol. Andy Warhol had like a studio, and he let all the artists like live there together, and they created stuff. I kind of feel like that. I had a thought. Oh, I know what it was. Nye's music room. I'm thinking we could probably Nye can move that shit back into his room, and Tamara, you and me and Crazy Cayenne, our 10-year-old,
we're all going to share a room.
Fit in that room. So go ahead and let Nye know that the studio that he had is now going to be a creative space with 3 other people too. So it's going to add to you guys' creativity.
Yes,
pitch that to him tonight.
Yeah, I am definitely down to for sure have you guys over whenever you guys want. I mean, honestly, like I would prefer over Nye and DL. You know, if you guys were like, you know what, Z, we want to move in here, they're out, they're gone.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
we have a cat too.
Let's
Is that cool?
let's get Cayenne shipped off. Okay, just packed up and shipped off, and then we'll come and move in and you know kick those other guys out.
Yeah, we might send Cayenne off to tennis school.
I don't know if he'll make tennis school, but we can find something for him.
But no, that's really cool, and I think you guys are obviously you 3 guys are some creative.
Yeah, how did you guys meet?
Oh yeah, good question.
Yeah, so the way I met, so it's kind of funny. I've actually known Michael for a really long time. Literally, I was like probably the first person he ever met in crypto.
Oh wow.
And but online, we never met in person, and we've always talked with each other, but we've never met in person until like 2.5 years later. And I met him in person for a meetup, and this was the first day ever that he was getting heat. Ever.
Oh, really?
Romano called him out, and this was like the day of the meetup, and it was the first time ever. And I went to the meetup with him, met him a little bit earlier, kind of hung out with him, and then DL happened to be there. He came in with Ryan Calder and Brecky.
Oh, 2 great guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I miss the conferences and stuff. You know, I love all the.
You've only not gone to one, really. I mean.
Well, we didn't go to World Crypto.
We need to get you guys. We need to get you guys to Asia. We need to do it. I mean, honestly, guys, the gambit that is, like, if anything, if you have to choose between one Asia crypto series, it would definitely be the one that we just went to, which is Singapore into Shanghai into Korea into Japan.
Wow,
that's interesting.
That will change your mind when it comes to crypto.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. It's another animal out there. I keep trying to tell everybody that it's another animal out there, but like you go to these US ones even, and you think that they're big, you think that these events are packed, you think that there's big money involved, and you go to these things in Asia and you're just like, holy moly, like where am I?
That's cool.
Well, yeah, because you're like, where the fuck am I? I mean, that's what we
exactly. But it is like remember how Toronto at the end, right? The after party was so cool.
Yeah,
it was like
fun.
Back at the villa, it was super cool. Imagine that kind of setting for every single party.
Right.
Oh, really?
It is just another level of community, and it is it is very pro crypto.
I like it. I'm sold.
You know, the thing about it is, and I'm not going to poo-poo it, but
Mr. Negative,
we have
Mr. Negative Pants walks in the room.
We have a 10-year-old, and I don't know that I want to go like travel Asia with our kid. I don't know.
What,
no, I mean that's what happens. You ship them over to tennis school. That's the plan right now.
Right.
You ship them over to tennis school.
Hold on.
I mean,
hold on.
And then you lose your phone.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really not that difficult.
And then we move.
Exactly. There's only really 3 steps.
Right.
Oh my God, that's too much.
Well, so
right, I have another question. It's completely out of left field, but I'm gathering intel here for zombie apocalypse scenario. What would your skill set be? What would make you a valuable member of my team and my group if there was a zombie apocalypse of any kind?
So one of the things, actually, I'm always actually very, very prepared. Like I have a Tacoma, like I'm all preset with MREs and everything. Actually, it's kind of funny. But one of the things that I'm very, very hands-on. I know how to build things. When it comes to electricity, running water, starting a fire, hunting. Right, I got it. I got it down.
You're at the top of my list.
Why are you always scouting out dudes for some zombie apocalypse? What kind of weird fantasy thing you got going on here? Because, honey, I would take care of us. You don't need to recruit.
Wait, you need to have a group.
Oh, okay.
A group is better.
A core group.
Yes.
Group.
If a zombie apocalypse happened, we would be fine. We're in Knoxville, Tennessee, on top of a mountain right now. We have turkeys. We're we're taken care of as far as I'm born and raised in the South. Living over in LA and any kind of big city, you're kind of fucked. You know what I mean?
I mean, you probably should get away from that area.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common. Like if you've watched any of the movies and shows.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I have one other thing. If you have time, do you have time?
I'm about to run out of battery, but I got one. Yeah. I can definitely answer one more question. I'm at 1%.
1%. All right. Well, just tell us what you've got. Tell us something else you're excited about right now. So we'll just get you.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, besides the gaming mouse, which I'm super stoked for, gives me a little bit of a break from crypto. I'm very excited to see how next year is going to play. So with all these things, right, the halvening happening, back rolling in, I really think that we are going to see a very big push in the next 1 to 2 years. I know everybody's been saying that, but I actually am very much a realist when it comes to I'm very unbiased, but right now I'm actually really leaning towards the next 2 years looking very, very good for crypto. And I'm actually very excited to essentially ride the wave and take profit, right?
Right.
For those of you that aren't traders, if you make life-changing money or you make money that's, really, really good, why not, take a little bit of and, buy a car or pay off your house. Or,
right.
Exactly. Well, you said you got 1%, so we want to say thank you. Everyone go follow NekoZ on Twitter. It's Crypto NekoZ, correct? At Crypto NekoZ. Sir. Thank you so much for chatting with us. We got into some pretty deep stuff. We learned a lot about you. And
Absolutely.
Tamara has agreed that she does want you on her zombie apocalypse team.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
That's good.
Top of my list.
Top of the list. Wow, that's really good, actually. Yes. Thank you, sir, for coming on the show. We're excited for everything that you got going, and this real world house that you guys have set up. It sounds fun.
Tell Nye and DL we said hi.
Yes, tell those guys we said hi.
You got it. They're in Singapore, but they're coming back soon. But yeah, you got it.
Cool.
I will do me a favor. What's it called? Just send me over your address for BTC or LTC or whatever, LTC or whatever. I mean, LTC actually might be the better play, just so we don't lose so many transaction fees.
Yeah.
And I'll send you $50 worth of LTC, and
let's do it.
And send me your address too, so I can get you guys over some ice.
Nice.
Well, and thank you so much for doing the giveaway and coming on the show. And we hope to see you soon.
Yep.
Absolutely, 100%, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye, Z. Thanks, guys. This has been another episode of That Bitcoin Show. Check us out on the internet, thatbitcoinshow.com. We have all our previous episodes. Listen to us talk to Charles Hoskinson, Andreas Antonopoulos. While you're there, maybe pick up some swag. We have merch. Why not? We are also on Patreon, and we take Bitcoin donations. Obviously, it's Bitcoin's in the name of our show. This has been another episode of That Bitcoin Show. Thanks for listening.